y'all? It's your girl UC Kayla. We are back with your Sistas on BET episode review, guys. Woo! This was the mid-season finale for season 4. Season 4, episode 11, entitled Fine Wine. But before we get off into it, guys, if you have not already, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. The last time I checked, my subscribers was like in the 360s, like almost 370 subscribers. That is incredible. I started this channel in January 27th. It has not been 2 months. I cannot thank you enough. So if you know somebody who's looking, if you're here looking and you've been here a couple times before, go ahead and subscribe and come on. We love to have you here. All right, guys, like, comment, and share if you like the content. Let's get into it, guys. I promise you this review is not going to be that long because honestly, the mid-season finale was not what I thought it was going to be. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So let's get into it, y'all. Sorry, I had to get my little water in so I can give my spiel. We'll start with the synopsis. If you see me looking over, that's my notes. Okay. While Karen struggles with her feelings for Zach, Calvin catches us by surprise. Short synopsis because literally that was about all that was going on. So we're going to blow through these scenes. Guys, this week, I want to say 10 scenes. Yep, 10 scenes. And then I'll go over the preview for episode 12 that we're not going to see until June 29th, if you didn't know. All right. Excuse me. All right. Scene 1. We're at Bio's restaurant where we left off at the end of episode 10 with Sabrina, Bio, and Calvin. Calvin interrupts Sabrina and Bio's date. They go back and forth. Calvin leaves. Sabrina and Bio continue the date. I made it short and sweet because that's what it was. In my opinion, we've seen this before, so many different times in so many different ways. This is our second time seeing it in season 4, and we're only halfway through the season. So it was not shocking, intriguing, thought-provoking. I didn't get a lot from it, and I'm done. All right, scene 2. I told y'all this might not be a very long review because it didn't give. I love Tyler Perry. I support the man's work. I have been a fan for years, but I'm gonna give my constructive criticism, okay? Scene number 2, we're at Danny's apartment. Technically, Sabrina's still at the restaurant, but she's on the phone with Danny, and Danny is in her apartment. Sabrina calls Danny to tell her that Calvin showed up on a date and pretends to be mad at her for setting up the date. Then Danny's like, girl, he gonna think you talking to Calvin, so she returns to the table with Bio, who assumed, like Danny said, that she was checking on Calvin. In my opinion, it's really just almost hurtful for Sabrina to have to be portrayed so simple, to be a grown woman. Like, it is. It's Sabrina, she always has to run to Danny to tell her every little thing. And then I don't know why she was acting like she was mad because she did nothing to try to stop Danny from setting that date up. She didn't even try to grab her phone back. So, sis, you wanted to go. Have a good time. All right, scene number 3. We're at Maurice's apartment with Calvin and Maurice. Calvin comes in fuming at Maurice like he always does after he caught Sabrina on her date. He claims he knew because he had a funny feeling. But Maurice got him back when he was an old woman's intuition. I'm sorry, y'all. I laughed way harder at that than I should have. Calvin also told Maurice that Q was sitting outside on the steps and told Maurice to let Q spend the night. At least for that one night, and then kick him out the next day. And then after a couple of Maurice's jokes and insults, Calvin decided to leave and go have a drink. My opinion, Calvin, just stop the madness with Sabrina, okay? And you wouldn't keep having to be pissed and get drunk. This is what your cycle is, that you do with her. And if you don't like it, stop doing it. And Maurice, stop the madness with Q. I'm done. All right, scene number 4. We're at the Fulton County Jail with Zach and Jake. Y'all pray for me because y'all know how I get mixed these names. I'm going to do my best. Focus, Kayla. Focus. All right. So Zach is out of jail after Jake paid his past due child support to get him out. He started to ask Jake to use his phone, but says never mind because Fatima won't answer a number she don't know. They have a forced friendly exchange outside the jail while Zach waits on his phone. Excuse me. In my opinion, I do the phones on Tyler Perry shows not have text messaging option? Because I feel like I've seen them use text before. So even if she doesn't have Jake's number, you can text her and say, hey, this is Zach from Jake's phone. I was in jail. I'm out. Call me. Like, what are we? Does she not have voicemail? If she didn't answer, could you not leave a voice message? I'm done. All right, scene number 5. We're back at Bio's restaurant with Sabrina and Bio. They continue their weird date. And the date itself wasn't weird. Like, there's nothing weird about going to a restaurant. The energy was weird. And how they were supposed to be flirty, but like there was nothing there that was giving that energy off of them. And then they got tipsy. Bio convinces Sabrina to stay and dance. And he was going to treat her like a princess. Okay. I'm moving on. I don't have any constructive criticism for that scene. I'm trying to be mindful of things that I say. Excuse me. My throat is really dry today. All right, so scene number 6, we're at Andy's penthouse with Andy and Karen. Okay. Karen comes over. I'm trying to break it down. Karen comes over to Andy's penthouse, being rude, and she was uninvited as well. Fuming at Andy, like it's her fault that she showed up at Zach's place, also uninvited, and ran to Fatima, who lives there. And then she goes on a rant about how Zach always does illegal things and never does right. And Andy was like, if he always does this, then why are you mad? Valid question, Andy. And then she answers Andy's phone as like part of her violent rage. And I'm like, do you pay Andy phone bill to be answering her phone? Okay. And then she blows up at Andy because Gary was on his way to come up, because you know they have to call Andy to have her allow people to come up. And she storms out and doesn't speak to Gary when he comes in. I'll wait and give my opinion at the end because... All right, Gary shows up. Karen blows by, like I said, and doesn't speak. He and Andy sit down and discuss how if she likes the penthouse. He discloses that he understands his wrongs and he intends to do whatever it takes to get her back. Andy holds her ground, says she might have Robin stay for a week. And then she and Gary have dinner. All right, in my opinion, Karen's behavior is just really becoming intolerable at this point. I think she and Andy's friendship is at an all-time low. I mean, the respect is just not there on Karen's part for Miss Andy. It's just very disappointing to see her isolating herself this way from everybody because she's allowing bitterness to overtake her. And it's just disappointing to see such a dramatic change in her character. And I really hope that Tyler Perry allows her to grow and heal in season 5 because this ain't it. And it's just getting past the point of redemption for her character if he keeps letting her go this way. As far as Gary and Andy, Gary kept saying, I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the BS. Andy agreed with him, and I agree with both of y'all. And I'm done. All right. Scene number 7, we're at the Fulton County Jail with Zach and Jake. Okay, Kayla, focus. Zach and Jake. All right, so Zach and Jake continue their conversation as Zach waits for his phone. Zach and Jake discuss Gary, and Zach says he doesn't trust Gary. Then they get into conversation about their women. Zach gushes over Fatima, how wonderful she is, and tells Jake that he is going to tell Fatima the truth about this child support situation because there's no way that's his kid. And then he tries to get Jake to go see if he can rush the police officers to give him his phone back. This scene was just unneeded, and I'm going to leave it at that. All right, moving on. Scene number 8. We're back at Maurice's apartment with Maurice and Q. Maurice lets Q in the house like a stray dog and then tells him he can stay for one night. Q tries to tell Maurice that he's sorry and he's 4 days sober. Let me keep... Then he offers to sleep with Calvin, convincing Maurice to let him stay. Then he tries to seduce Maurice after he just offered to sleep with Calvin. And Maurice, you can immediately see the regret on his face for letting that boy come in to stay. And then my opinion on this, I'm done. What the heck? I'm done. I'm not even going to go there because I literally have not one constructive thing to say because this storyline is out of a place of constructive criticism. We just need to exit. All right. Scene number 9, my favorite scene of the show, the only redeeming scene of the show. We're at Miss Daniela King's apartment. Danny, with Karen and Danny. Karen comes over to Danny's house, also uninvited. She keeps popping up on people to talk about Zach like she always does. The only time she wants to hear what Danny has to say. And she calls Fatima out of her name and says she doesn't want to see her. Karen expresses that she feels her friends are wrong for liking Fatima. Danny tells her the honest truth about her needing to let Zach go and that situation go and move on. Karen continues to refuse, basically, to let him go and says she loves him. Oh, and he loves me. He said it. And Danny's like, he's in love with Fatima. And she's like, I'm going to get him back. Danny does try to stop her, gets up and tries to advise against it, but Karen doesn't listen as usual. So my opinion, again, Karen, this is actually really sad at this point. It's pathetic. Karen, please love yourself more than this. Like, why do you always want the scraps from this man? Like, the crumbs, the scraps, the things that belong to the trash from Zach is what you accept from him, and then wonder why he does not rise to the occasion when it comes to you. Do you feel like that's what you're worthy of? Like, if y'all got back together, would you even trust him? Knowing that he's in love with Fatima? This man has cheated on you with girls that he cared nothing about. He's in love with Fatima. According to him, do you think, could you even trust him if he said, fine, let's get back together, let's be a family? Is that cool with you? Karen, let it go. I mean, Aaron or no Aaron, it's not about letting him go to pick Aaron. Aaron or no Aaron, she needs to stop this with Zach. Like, seriously, this is getting a little, it's like Nene said, it's getting weird. That's a Nene Leakes reference. I'm a Real Housewives of Atlanta fan. But anyway, it's getting weird. All right. And also kudos to Danny for being that friend that Karen needs. I mean, she needs that blunt and honest voice of reason, because they've tried to coddle her. They've tried to be sorry for her. Oh, Karen, you don't deserve this. Oh, Karen, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. Okay, now let's talk about reality. What's going on? And Danny gave her some tough love. Karen does not even deserve Danny's friendship, because she hasn't been this type of friend to Danny, in my opinion. But I am glad that she has Danny's friendship, because she needs somebody to tell her the truth. Andy is starting to get to where she's being more truthful with Karen, but Karen kind of bullies Andy, so it doesn't go over the same way. Karen can't bully Danny. And I do feel like this is why I said weeks ago I did not believe that fake apology that Karen gave Fatima. Every time Karen tries to pretend like, oh, this ain't about you, Fatima, I'm not that mad at you, I'm not worried about you, I'm sorry, I was trying to hurt you, but I shouldn't have did it, I'm sorry. That's why I didn't believe that fake apology, because every time she gets the chance, she turns on Fatima. And I'm not saying she should like Fatima, but it's a little bit above and beyond for somebody who you don't really know, and they don't owe you anything. But then you keep trying to be in their face like, okay, we can be cordial, this is not about you. If you felt that way, you should have told her at the house, I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you. If Zach's not here, I'm out. Like, be a woman about yours. I don't respect that. And I also feel like, to my point, she wasn't trying to rush over there to talk to Zach, because she was also worried about the police catching him. She wanted to talk to Zach about saving their relationship. She wasn't trying to help Zach. Karen was trying to help Karen, like Karen does. All right, scene number 10. I'm done with that foolishness, child. Anyway, scene number 10. But that was a great scene. Shout out to Tyler Perry for that dialogue. It wasn't dragging. It was giving what it was supposed to give. They didn't ask if each other was sure a million times. Like Danny, they got off into it, and I really like that scene. Last scene of the episode, number 10, we're at Hayden's house with Fatima, Hayden, and Gary. Fatima busts Hayden's car with a bat. Hayden comes out the house and tells Fatima he's going to call the police. And then runs in the house. Fatima runs after him, and she finds Gary there. It's like, what are you doing here? My opinion, as much as I love Fatima, that bat scene really did not give me what I thought it was going to give. I feel like the promo definitely overhyped it, because, I mean, yes, she busts his car with a bat, but it wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. And then I feel like he had her poorly dressed for the scene, because she was like in heels. She couldn't even like get a good pace up to run after Hayden to make it more dramatic because she had those high heels on. And that's something that I've said always about this show. It's like even they tip around their house. Andy was walking around her house in a full, I understand her and Gary were about to have dinner, but even if they weren't, he has them walking around their house in heels and full makeup and beat and stuff. Like, these are Black women. They don't even take their wigs off and stuff. And it's just like, it's unrealistic. When she thought she was going to have to fight Karen and them at the penthouse, she changed her clothes and put some jeans on. And yes, she had heels on, but they were like the big block heels. Like, what, she could have wore that and get up for this scene. I just felt like it was overhyped. But I am excited to see how the plot is going to thicken between Fatima, Gary, Zach, and Andy now. Possibly Hayden. I really don't care about Hayden. All right, y'all, the preview. In the preview, Karen tells Aaron she doesn't want him to get his hopes up because there is no way he could be the baby's father. Aaron says science is science. In my opinion, we'll see. Child, we'll see. Karen doesn't want to address that possibility of Aaron being the child's father because she wants this child to be her connection to Zach. And she basically admitted that to Danny in last night's episode. So I really don't care at this point. Let's see if she's even actually pregnant or if the pregnancy is going to make it to term. I'm not going to let this get under my skin about the paternity because I don't even think it's going to matter. And I've been saying it's not going to matter one way or the other. All right, Sabrina and Bio also kiss in this preview. I honestly could not care less. Zach tells Fatima that the baby is not his. Fatima's holding the papers in her hands from Bill Watts. And she tells him, she says to Zach, she can't just go to court and claim this. Our sentiments exactly, sis. Like, what is going on? Like, poor Zach and Fatima, they can't catch a break. We'll see how this situation unravels, but I think it's kind of left field, and I wish it wasn't so. I'm tired of babies being pinned on Zach, and not just because I'm team Zatima, but it's just like, it's really not that original. But yeah. All right, and then lastly, Q begs to sleep with Maurice, and Maurice is like, why? So you can put a gun to my head? Valid point. Why is this still a thing? All right, y'all. That is my season 4, episode 11 review for the mid-season finale. If I have to rate it, after much consideration, at first I said like a 5 out of 10. Now that I've done a scene-by-scene breakdown, I would give like a 3 out of 10. If for a mid-season finale, like, I wish that it wasn't a long break because I like the show, but I'm not dying to know what's going to happen like that. And I'm a super fan of the show. So it was disappointing, to say the least, to me. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share if you like the content. You can follow me on Twitter at thatgirlKaylaD if you want to know more of my thoughts. However, I'm letting you guys know I'm not going to be on Twitter as much during this mid-season break. I will be on there like maybe every other day or something like that, but it's not going to be as constant because now we're out of season and I'm going to be working on content for the channel and just baking up some things, guys, so that we can continue to grow together because you guys are growing in this with me. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday and rest of the weekend, and I will see you guys Monday with some new content. Have a good one. Bye-bye.